I want to bring up Peter Jacob. And Peter Jacob is running for the New Jersey Congressional District 7. He is, well, actually, let me just bring him on because he's one of the youngest, if not the youngest, candidates for that particular office. Correct me where I'm wrong. Are you the youngest or one of the youngest?
Probably the youngest in New Jersey for sure. I'm the only millennial for a major party heading to the general election.
Yeah.
And I believe the first millennial as well.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit more about your campaign, what you're doing, who you're running against, and first of all, congratulations for making it to the general election, right? That's a huge thing. So tell us a little bit more about your platform, what you represent, and who your political opponent is.
Sure. First off, thank you, Ben, for having me this evening. It's always been a pleasure. I'm a fan of the show, been following since I started my campaign. So thank you for that and the entire staff and folks over there. So our campaign started back in November. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, I'm an Indian American. My parents came here to the United States back in '86 with very little, just $20 in their pockets, hearts full of hope, and a 6-month-old baby in their arms, me. Mm-hmm. They were able to establish a small business. I grew up in the township of Union, a middle-class town here in New Jersey, and they were able to purchase a beautiful home, put their children through college. I ended up getting my master's in social work. And professionally, I'm a social worker. I don't like the word politician. I prefer the word public servant. And I see this campaign as a continuation of my social service. I was a community organizer who saw firsthand the challenges that many marginalized communities faced. The families who lost their jobs, who had to work 2-3 jobs or take pay cuts to keep those jobs and still did not make ends meet. The veterans who served our nation and in return, they ended up jobless, homeless, and suffering from PTSD. The senior citizens who had to choose between food and medication. And I thought to myself, why in the wealthiest country in the history of the world do we have these challenges? And the simple fact is that for far too long, special corporate corrupt interests have been put above the people's interest. It's very simple that government should be of by and for the people. It's we the people, not they the corporations. And to me, enough was enough. You might have heard that quote before, and this was definitely the opportunity this was definitely the year to seize that opportunity to bring about the change we want to see in our communities, our state, our nation, and our world. My opponent.
Yes. Yeah, I know I asked you about your opponent. I apologize, but let me jump in there real quick because you've said a lot, and I've had a lot of candidates come on, and they've said things that are similar to what you're saying. I believe in the sentiment of what you're saying. Tell us how you're going to get it done.
Well, this is, as Bernie Sanders said, this is the political revolution. Our campaign from the get-go has been about people. So with regards to, I think your question has 2 parts. One is, how do you trust this candidate? How do you trust this guy? And I think my history as a social worker speaks for itself. But this campaign is now funneled by special interests or super wealthy campaign donors. It's supported by the people. Our volunteer base is all the people. We don't have a paid staff in this campaign. We're relying on volunteerism as well as those who have specialized skill sets to really serve and want to see a difference. But when we win this campaign, and we will win this campaign, when we get to office, our objective is to bring everybody with us. This campaign is not about Peter Jacob. It's not about a party. It's about we the people. And that's what I told, that's what I've been saying since day one to party officials and everybody who I've spoken to knocking on doors. So this is not a victory for myself. It'll be a victory for the people, and they all will come along with me to represent this nation.
Okay. Got it. Love it. Love what I'm hearing.